Hi everyone, it's Andrea, and I'm here to kick off the Creative Design Team's September 2023 collaboration where we are featuring one sketch two ways. I'm going to be using this sketch that came from our exclusive Creative Design Team 8.5 by 11-inch sketchbook. It's full of really great designs, and I'm going to be featuring this one that I found on page 10 of that book. Now, these are designs, like I said, 8.5 by 11, but I'm going to stretch this sketch for my first project, and I'm going to make a double 12 by 12 layout. And then for my second project, I'm going to shrink this little right-hand page down, and I'm going to make a card that mimics the design over here. I want to show you the products that we're going to use in this project. The project is going to feature some prom photos for my daughter, Emma, and you might have already seen I did one video already making one double layout using this Flower Shop paper pack and sticker sheet. I have that right here, and it's just gorgeous. It's got lots of fun designs, and we're going to go and use this once again. And then the only other thing that you're going to need really is some kind of flowers, butterflies, and little greenery, which mine are Ballerina colored right here. Now, I've cut those out of our digital art collection called In Full Bloom, and you can still get your hands on this over on my website. I'm going to put the links to everything that you see here down below in this video's description if you want to do this layout exactly the way that I've done. Also, I just want to take a moment because today is a very exciting day for the Creative Design Team. Today is the day that we launch and open up registration for our 2023 version of the 31 Days of Christmas cards. And it's just going to be fun-filled. Every day in October, we are going to bring you a class, and it's going to be very technique-driven and very fun. I promise you, lots of fun. So today's the day that we launch registration and get everybody set to get into that wonderful project-focused group. And we also are offering a replay at a discount of the 2022 version. So both of those things launched today and are open. And right now there's actually even an early bird for our 2023 registration. If you are one of our Creative Design Team members, go ahead and look over in our membership group because we have a special offer just for you. So before you sign up and use the links that I provided, go look over in the group. But this registration period is launching right now, the very second that this video is playing. Let's get back to our projects at hand. We are going to start with the left side of our layout, and I'm going to bring in a sheet of white daisy cardstock. Bring that into the screen, and we are going to build our layout. The first thing that I've done is just to have a big background piece of our patterned cardstock. Now I've got a stack of things right here in my hands, but I'm going to lay this cardstock down and adhere it right to the page. Now, of course, this is a 12-inch width, like I told you. That's the way that I've stretched my sketch, is by making it wider, going across the page here. So let's adhere that down. And then I did use the same height pieces for, you can see C and D, and down here, instead of having a full page of 8.5 by 11, I've just cut it up to save a little paper. So I'm going to just put a strip of this paper down below. So here we go. We're just going to glue down our pieces. And sketches, like I said, they just make our job so easy because you can kind of see how we've gotten the big background here, this light gray, then the zip strip represents that, the blue right here, and then the little piece down below. So we've just stretched it out width-wise and just a little bit height-wise and made it work. Now, the photos, the only thing that I did was that these photos were pretty much cut. The B pieces here were cut to the same size, except that I wanted a 1/2 inch all around. So I just cut this to 4.5 by 6.5. And I am going to just adjust the width over here when we get to, oops, I pulled in the wrong one. Let's go to the right ones here. I've adjusted all those photos. So I have made this 6.5 inches tall and 8 3/4 wide because I wanted a 1/4 inch border consistently throughout. So we're just going to adhere that down. onto this page here. I'm going to bump up against the right inside edge here. And then we just have a few more elements. Now I wanted to add a few more photos down the side of the page. So I have photos of the girls. 1, 2, and 3. So they are just going to kind of cascade down the edge of the page here. Just like so. And I could have put them in a straight line. I just like them kind of offset. Definitely a little bit of fun and movement. So now instead of using tags like you see are here in the sketch, I've decided to just simply cut out some of the pieces to the info bloom that were already with the flowers. So we're going to go ahead and use those. And we can just tuck those in back here if we choose to. I think I'm going to run them a long way, kind of like this. So I will put this one about here. And this one can go right about here. I like that arrangement. And now we have some flowers that we can go ahead and use here. And we're just going to build a little cluster like you see here. And they're just going to go right about there. Now I do think some foam tape would certainly help pop these up. So we're just going to give ourselves a few little pieces of foam tape here. It's okay, it's overlapping the photo a bit here. We also have a butterfly, and I have cut that, like I said, out of the info bloom as well. So this little collection gave me everything that I needed to go with this sketch. If I decided to use stars on this sketch instead, you know, if that had worked better for this layout, I think it would have been fine to do. I'm going to turn this butterfly this way instead of that way and move it over just a bit. And we have some really cute little, I'm going to call this greenery, but it's not really greenery because I've cut it out of Ballerina cardstock, glitter cardstock. And you might ask me why. I could have gone with pure white, but I've got a lot of Ballerina cardstock, of glitter cardstock in my stash. So I decided that that would be the best option to use and use up what I had. So we're just going to give these guys a little bit of adhesive. Put that butterfly right there. I think that gives this little breathing room, and I do like the way that came out. Now I've got these little tiny delicate little berry stems. I cut these on my Cricut Maker as well, and they came out really nicely. Just really soft little touches. And we'll just layer those up just a bit. And I like that little burst of leaves and so. Okay, so we have our first page together. We're just going to move on. I'm just going to move this over just a touch, and we will bring in all of the elements for page number 2 that will go with our sketch. Let me try to get this into view as well. And we will build this the same manner that we built the other page. And now it's time for this photo that I tried to attach to the left page. So that is just going to go ahead and butt up against the inner left-hand side over here. I have another photo that I want to include as well. One of the other things that I did was I cut this little piece here, and this is for our journaling. Cut this out of the Info Bloom digital art collection as well. So we're just going to adhere that down lightly. I think I want to put that right about here. This way we can build our flower cluster right down here. So let's go ahead and tack that down. And now we just have some flowers once again. And now we have our biggest butterfly is supposed to go right down here. about this area. So let's see how he looks. We're just going to put a little foam tape on him, but we are not going to adhere him yet so we get everything else in place. We have some more sprigs here. We have a couple more flowers. Now this isn't something that was supposed to be on here. If you look at the sketch, we were just supposed to have a butterfly and the title up in this area, but I think I'm going to move the title over to this particular side over here. I'm hoping that it fits. You know what? Let's just take a look at that. I'm going to bring both of these pages in. Now the title would go up here, but I kind of think that the title would go really well over here. Don't you think? I think this is the perfect spot for it. So we're actually just going to go ahead and jump over here for just a minute. I just needed to solve that title problem and see where it fit better. So again, sketch is a jumping off point for me. It's a good spot to start, but it does not always mean that you have to stick to that sketch. And so go ahead and do what's best for your layout. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put that Cherish Always sticker right there. And this sticker came right from the sticker sheet that was included with the Flower Shop paper pack. And the one thing I had wanted to do that I forgot to do was maybe to add a little bit of ink. And so, you know what? We've got the opportunity right up here. I'm just going to add a little bit of ink. So I've just got some Capri ink and one of our little brushes. And I'm just going to give this just a little bit of a little touch right here. So I'm just going in a gentle little circle. And I just want to see how that looks when we go ahead and put our flowers up there. I'm going to see if I can't pick up this little journaling spot. I told you I wasn't adhering it really tightly to the page because I think I do want to just do a little bit more of that Capri color. So I'm just going to lift this up. You can barely see it because you have the little blue flowers here, but I just think it's going to help to pop this off the page just a bit. This tone on tone, the green gets kind of lost. So I think if we have just a little bit of color, it's going to create a place for this little tiny journaling spot to land. And yeah, it's giving it exactly what I want. And I'm going to move this down. Like so. And I just think it gave it a little definition, a little shadowing that this journaling spot desperately needed. Wouldn't you agree? So we've got it here and here, the inking. So I think that we're going to just gently go ahead under these elements as well. This layout, all in all, went so super quick because we used this sketch to make our layout. Now, when I cut out the journaling box, I also had the inside that came out. So I was thinking I might be able to just include that somewhere, just as a little bit, but I don't know, maybe up there. I'm going to actually just cut this in half with my scissors. And let's just see how that looks if we were to adhere it up in this cluster. We have it, instead of throwing it out, let's just use it. I think that looks cute. And then maybe we could do something right about here with it as well. And I like that because then each cluster gets a little bit of the green details brought through. Tuck that behind that little tiny white ballerina little sprig there. And I do love the way this layout came out. So it's so easy to stretch that 12 by 12 sketch. And I hope I gave you an idea of just how to do it. Now we're going to take our sketch, our 8.5 by 11 sketch, and I'm going to use this little side, the right-hand side, to create a tiny card. But I'm going to actually just twist it just a bit We'll see which way we end up liking it. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to continue using that paper. And I'm going to lay down a piece of flower shop cardstock right on top of our base. So I've already got these cut to the appropriate size. And the great thing about converting 8.5 by 11 inch sketches into cards is that this is actually half of this. So all that I needed to do was shrink down my measurements by 1/2, and I had this made. So simple, simple. Now my card base is sliding here just a little bit. Here we go. So I'm putting down my 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card front. That's pretty easy. I have also cut one more of those little frames. I'm using, instead of the green, I'm using the yellow side. So we're going to see, that's going to go probably in the middle. Now, if you're curious where I got that stamp, I am using the Memory Lane stamp set. It's really cute. And I just thought that that would be perfect, a perfect little birthday sentiment in the middle of that frame. Since I was cutting one for the layout, I just went ahead and cut two. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe, I think we're going to do it this way. I think we're going to put the pieces over on this edge. So I have just a couple pieces of cardstock. I took this D measurement and I divided it in half. So I have this here that we can adhere down. And I'm just going to leave a little bit sticking out the bottom edge right here, like so. Or the side edge, I should say. We're going to have a little bit of that pink and white diagonal. This is just a piece that was left over. So I don't even know the measurement of this. About 1/2 inch, I would guess, by 4 1/4. And that is going to go right there. Again, this sketch is just an approximation of where we want to put everything. And I think that I want to just put this right about there. Let's see. We'll just adhere this straight down to the page. We'll move that up just a bit because we need to have some room for our flowers. Now for the card, I ended up cutting out 3 flowers instead of just 2 and a leaf. There's that little piece right there. So let's see how we can arrange these. I think they need some pop dots as well. Got a little leaf, and you know that needs a little bit of liquid glue. So put that right here. We have a couple of the Ballerina glitter leaves, so we will just put a little adhesive on those. Like so. We have the little tab that I cut out, but honestly, I don't really think that we need this at all. So that might be something you could just put right in the card if you wanted. And so we also now have just a sweet little birthday card that is based on this sketch right here. And all that I did was pretty much eliminate the excess here. I kind of moved this element down, and that's where our sentiment is. So converting 8.5 by 11 sketches into cards that are A2 is a simple divide everything in half kind of formula, and you've got it. It's so easy to do. So you could take the measurements that are found on this side and just divide so that you get the width of this, and so on. And it's just a really fun way to create a little card. I didn't have to think about it. It was just all from this sketch. So bring back in the layout. Here we are. We've got the layout. We've got the card. And just, isn't that just the perfect little project? So fun to put together. I love the way that it turned out. I hope you do too. And don't forget again to check out the links for this wonderful sketchbook. And also, reminder about the 31 Days of Christmas Cards events, because I am thrilled to be creating really cool cards for you this year. And I know the other girls are as well. Thanks for watching and have a creative day. Bye now. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button that you see right there. And be sure to check out the entire design team's collab. All links are down below in this video's description. Thanks for watching.